Boating 52, how are you folks? You know, I was at my dealership the other day. I was checking out one of those new Electra Glide Revival. I think it's the Icon series they call it. And you know, I get it's a replica. But wouldn't you rather have something like original? Something like a little closer? Something like an old Road King? So maybe it's just because I'm biased, because I happen to have a 2000 Road King Classic. But I really want to get your thoughts on the new bike. The Electra Glide Revival. I guess there's 1,500 of those. And by the way, this is not going to be a review of that bike at all. There's a lot of that stuff out now, and I was watching Matt Laidlaw this morning, and he did an excellent job at that. I'm going to link his video, by the way, at the bottom, because I think it's, or in the description, I think it's one of the best. But I was at the dealership, and I was checking it out, because that is the talk of the town. It's amazing how it changes, doesn't it? From a Pan America to now that. By the way, and I don't care what you ride, but all those folks that were beating up Harley for never doing anything, hey, at least they've done a couple things, right? You're trying a couple things. We'll see if they work or not. But I was checking out the bike, and, you know, a lot of people love it. And I think it's cool. I'm a nostalgic type guy. I mean, I don't know about you guys, but in my past, when I was a kid, I had baseball cards, Matchbox cars. And, you know, I still have all those baseball cards. I'll bet they're worth 20 grand, right? So my son will be happy when I pass on to get those things. He'll probably sell them, which is wrong. But I was checking out the bike, and you know what? The paint and all that is sharp. But I got to tell you what, for me, I don't necessarily like the look of the paint. Now, I realize that that's back towards the bike in '69, and actually Matt's video had his dad talking about it when he first got him, when he was running the dealership, and so it was really a pretty cool story. But as I'm looking at it, I'm like, okay, so this is a replica of an older bike. I get that. It's kind of cool looking. It's got the new boom box on it. It's got, you know, it doesn't have a painted dash, and hey, that's fine. But there's parts of it that look old and parts of it that don't look so old. Now, let's talk about the 1,500 people that buy it. If you bought one of those bikes or are buying one of those bikes, and let's leave some comments in. One is, did you happen to buy one? Are you one of those 1,500 people? And what are those people doing with that? Are they riding it? Are they keeping it at their garage? Are they taking it to you know, some sort of bike rally to show it off? They gonna ride it? What are they doing? Because it's 30 grand, right? So, and again, I am not saying don't buy that bike or that it's super cool, but there's a part of me, this is gonna sound crazy, and you're probably gonna go, no way, dude, you're just saying that. There's a part of me that would rather have my $5,000 used 2000 Road King. It doesn't have all the cool stuff on it, instead of that motorcycle and pocket that 25 grand. I just believe, at least to me, and I get what that bike is for. I applaud Harley for doing it. But to me, I don't know. I'd rather have a couple older bikes. Maybe find a 69, and maybe you couldn't, right? Maybe it's 40 grand. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about, right? But to me, it's like something that has that Harley rumble, that Harley shake when you're at the light. Sure, you can dress up that new bike, but there's something about having the original, or something a little bit physically older. And that's really what this video is about, is if you want something nostalgic, I think that's cool. But for me, I think I'd rather have something a little closer to original, like my Road King Classic. And I'm not saying, do you compare this bike to that bike? Because somebody said, okay, Bodine, we're going to let you trade in your bike even up for that bike. Of course I would do it, and then I would sell it and I'd buy 3 of these, right? So, or 4 of these, 5 of these. But I don't know, it's just part of that old bike feeling. So when I went out today, and I knew I wanted to talk about this and talk about that bike, I prefer riding this Road King minus the windshield. I just do. And I've always had this windshield pouch, and I'll talk to you about that in a minute, off the motorcycle since I bought it. Because one of the reasons I bought this is because the old school look. I love the headlight on this thing, and it blocked it, right? So I was thinking, well, if you're going to go out and you're going to talk about old school stuff, maybe you should go ahead and put the windshield on. Go ahead and put the bag on. I actually put my phone in there, and now I'm kind of liking the bag. Even though it does hide the tail light, or the headlight. But I'm like, let's make the Road King Classic how it looked in 2000. And even though this has a Stage 1 on it, this is how it looked in 2000. And I don't know, there's something about it that makes me just like the older bike. I know it comes with problems. I know it doesn't have cruise control. I know it doesn't have the boom box. Matter of fact, it has no radio. And to me, that is perfect. So I'm just interested in what you guys think. Do you like that bike? Would you buy that bike? And should I stop at this gas station before I'm going to run out of gas? Because I really think it's pretty close. But would you go ahead and buy that bike? Do you kind of get what I'm saying about being a little nostalgic? Wouldn't you rather have something that's a little closer to original? I don't know. I think I would. And do you think this guy right here in this truck, this little car here, is going to wonder why I'm talking to myself? Probably. I don't know, folks. That is it. For me, it's the Road King Classic. I'd rather have something closer to original than that new bike. Let me know your thoughts. Be safe, folks, on and off the motorcycle. Be vigilant. Check on a friend. We'll talk to you soon.